Various times in history, there has been mentions that potentially there are nuclear weapons at the British bases, which are considered sovereign bases on Cyprus. Now, the legal status of these bases are a remnant, let's say, of colonization. We've had opinions saying that we could use the ruling on the Chagos Island, Mauritius, that could be a basis for one day Cyprus requesting that the British bases are removed. But if, I know Britain is a nuclear power and would never would never sign the treaty. But if Cyprus signed the treaty, could that be used in the context of the British bases? And we don't want to have, let's say, potentially, because nobody really knows, potentially have nukes on the island? Or is that too far-fetched?
I think the first consequence was Cyprus to sign up to the TPNW would be that one of the framings in the treaty for implementation is in Article 2 of the treaty, and it's called a declaration. And any state signing up to the treaty has to make a declaration on basically its nuclear weapon possessor status. It has to say whether or not it possesses or controls or owns nuclear weapons. And it has to, for instance, say whether there are any nuclear weapons or other nuclear explosive devices on its territory or in any place under its jurisdiction or control that are owned, possessed, or controlled by another state. Now, I assume that both UK bases are under the jurisdiction, or at least in the territory of Cyprus. Without knowing their legal basis, I find it hard to believe that it's not actually on Cyprus territory. So the Cypriot government would have to enter a simple declaration to the Secretary General of the UN saying whether or not it believed there were any nuclear weapons in either base. I think that that's a judgment that the Cyprus government would be able to make fairly readily on the basis of past public statements by the UK government of where it positions its nuclear weapons. But it could consult, of course, with the UK over what it should say. But I can see that that is something, the declaration, that would need consideration. Okay. For the rest, I can't see any immediate practical effect between Cyprus and the UK. I don't doubt that the Cyprus government would make a statement that it expects the UK government never to base nuclear weapons on Cypriot territory.